If you're anything like any parent or any mom, you may feel as if you want to pull your hair out because of the struggles you have with your toddlers and teens, or maybe even parenting toddlers and teens at the same time. So when there's a big divide, there's really a problem. When there is just any kind of child or children in your home, you might feel challenged in how you speak to them, what you say to them, what you do, and don't let your relationship come and have struggles as well. That could be a problem. So today we will be talking about health. I'm parenting toddlers and teens, and I have a special guest with me, Jennifer Mullins, all the way from St. Augustine, Florida. So go ahead, stick around, stay tuned, invite someone, and definitely subscribe to our Unique Couples YouTube channel. We are live here at Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. Stay tuned. And we are back here at Unique Couples Sunday Night Live talking about health. I'm parenting teens. I'm parenting toddlers and teens. And we have special guests in the house, Jennifer Mullins, all the way from St. Augustine, Florida. We are so happy to have you. Vito tried to get in, and I had to remind him that this is Ladies Month. So all May long, we are talking about ladies. We're talking. Actually, parenting does not just have to do with women. It just so happened that we are talking about parenting this month. So I had to let him know. No, you don't come on. This is our month we have reserved for our women, and just kind of like talking and chilling and just be able to share some of the things that we experience. So I'm so glad to have you here with us, Jennifer. Tell our viewing audience hello.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me on your show with Unique Couples. I really wanted to do this because I wanted the opportunity to share some of my experience and my knowledge. I'm a certified breakthrough parenting instructor. And so I help parents move from struggle to cooperation with their families. I predominantly work with single parents, so parents that have experienced divorce or separation and are trying to navigate that after marriage, navigate parenting after marriage. But the one commonality, no matter where we are, is our kids' needs. So whether we're separated or whether we're thriving in a healthy, successful marriage, our kids still need the same thing. And what better way to equip our kids than for me to start presenting this information to healthy families? And maybe we can save some of the disordered families and the broken families later on. But most importantly, I'm just here to share my experience and my knowledge and kind of drive home to all parents that parenting is mostly about listening. It's about listening to what our kids need and analyzing how we can meet those needs. So
Awesome.
that's what I'm
Awesome.
going to share.
Yeah, so it's great to have you. So, for all of you who are watching, listening, we are here on Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. You heard the topic help, parenting, toddlers, and teens. Go ahead. Those of you who are joining us live, hashtag live score. Those of you who will catch the replay, hashtag replay. And do not forget to let us know your takeaways. So, if there's a point that really hit home for you, go ahead and type it in the comments. If something just, like you're eating this watermelon and something is good for you, you eat that and then spit out the seed. What is not for you, just leave it, right? Just leave it. So, but we also want to encourage you to share because, my struggle, and I may struggle by myself and all alone, and someone else may be facing the same struggle, but we don't share. Okay, and with you sharing, not knowing, just sharing and letting someone know, that could help someone, bring clarity to their situation. So go ahead and share to help someone. You don't know who you will help and inspire. Go ahead and do that. Thanks for joining us, Kathy. Hi, Lynn. Yes, Julie, thanks for joining us, Tammy. And yeah, so go ahead, put your comments. Let us know how long you've been married. Let us know how many kids you have. Put that in the comments as well. Let us know. Yeah, go ahead, put their ages as well. Okay, good. So put in your comments. Let us know. Are you a parent? Are you expecting to be one? Are you wishing and wanting to be one? But today we'll be talking about help parenting toddlers and teens. And I can say for me, we had actually right now, we have a 15-year-old. And so we have teens and a 14-year-old son. So we have a 15-year-old daughter, a 14-year-old son, and a 5-year, well, actually not 5. She turned 5? I think she did, Yes. She was 5 years old. She is 5 years old. I feel like she's going on 50. But so at one point, they were younger. We had toddlers and teens and raising them all at the same time. So my son and daughter, youngest one, they have like a 10-year gap in between, them two. So it was like, so I'm so happy for this topic. Go ahead, Jennifer, let us know. I know you had a personal experience. Let us know why. Why breakthrough parenting? Why did you decide to do this? What was your personal experience related to this this topic?
Okay.
This issue that
so the catalyst for me was after my divorce. My ex-husband and I tried to co-parent for the first little while after we separated, but unfortunately, life doesn't always go according to the best laid plans, and other people got involved, of course. And so our co-parenting relationship devolved. My relationship with my children devolved. And what that resulted in was a power struggle. And then my kids were caught in the middle of it. And to give a name to that power struggle, it's often called parental alienation or, being a targeted parent. It's where the children are forced to decide which parent they want to be with or which parent they favor. And it creates a lot of conflict, a lot of drama, a lot of hurt feelings on all parts. But the main issue and what drove me to delve into this and to study this for years and do the research and get the training is the effects that this has on children. It is tearing them apart. And even again, even in homes where families are intact, a lot of these things, these tactics that are used that create a power struggle for children, are even used unknowingly, unwittingly, in healthy families. So we see this a lot. We see minimizing dad or minimizing mom or undermining authority or saying, you don't have to listen to your mom. You can get up from the table. Those
Mm,
things take effect. They take root in children, and it causes problems for them. And that's really what I saw. My children and I went down a really dark road for a lot of years. And it wasn't until I took a step back and I realized this situation is not working. It's not
mhm,
working for any of us. What I'm doing isn't working. What they're doing isn't working. And the only way you can make a change is for somebody in the situation to do something different. So I bowed out. I stepped back. I got myself in therapy. I got myself a therapist and a coach, and I helped myself move through my fears and my pain and the conflict that I was in, until I could approach my children in a way where I wasn't coming from a place of my needs or my hurt. I was actually open to listening to them, and I was open to meeting them where they are. Because a lot of us parents, um, we we only know what we have experienced ourselves, right? So a lot of our
yeah.
own parenting is rooted in the way we were parented. And God bless all our parents. We love our parents. I believe that they did the best they could with the tools that they had, but our parents didn't know. They didn't talk about mental health back in those days. They didn't
No.
talk about the importance of a child's self esteem. They didn't talk about the need for children to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. They
And guess
just
what?
turned
Even
it.
today, some people still are not talking about these
That's
same
correct.
things.
That's
Parents
correct. And
today,
so
yes.
parenting has been rooted for centuries in fear and punishment. And that doesn't work for children in this day and age. There's too many distractions, there's too many things going on in today's world where, we can't just tell our kids what not to do. They actually have to know what to do. So this
Yes.
breakthrough parenting course takes parents on the journey, where we start to understand why we don't want to be an authoritative parent anymore, because we know that fear and control and punishment is damaging our kids. It's not helping them.
Yeah.
The vision that a parent has for their life, and then if you just control and manipulate and coerce your child to take that direction, that's not them fulfilling their life. They're not self actualized, they're just living out your dreams. So this way we get to meet our children where they are, and help
Mhm.
them hone in on their zone of genius and build their critical thinking skills and build their self-esteem. And you do that in the tiniest of ways as parents, and we're oblivious to it in the moment. Like, we don't realize what we're doing or the effect that our words are having on our children. But when we stop and we analyze, when we reflect on what we're seeing in our children that we don't like, and we look beneath that surface at their feelings, their thoughts, and their needs, we can begin to address those feelings, those thoughts, and those needs at each individual level. And it's truly transforming, not just for a parent, but also for a child.
Wow, yeah. So I just want to go back to you talked about how that experience was with your kids. Give us a snapshot of what it looked like and what it sounded like when they were having this, or you were having this power struggle. This was
Yeah.
happening with the kids. Give us
Um,
an idea of what that looked like, because yeah.
yeah. It looked like a lot of rebellion. It looked like them not respecting my rules in my home, not respecting our boundaries in our home. It looked like a lot of hostility. It was slamming doors. It was the silent treatment. It was, not responding to calls or texts. It was outwardly rejecting me on birthdays or holidays, not wanting to, spend any time with me. That's what it looked like and felt like to me. What I observed in them was grades slipping, having trouble with interpersonal relationships with their peers, withdrawn behavior, weight gain, sleeplessness, self-harming, all of those manifest out of a lack of self-esteem. And when you're not receiving love from both parents, when you're stuck in the middle of that,
Yeah.
you're broken, and your behavior reflects that. So it's no wonder that there's a mental health crisis in our country, and that so many kids and adults are struggling because, again, our parents didn't know. Back generations ago, in patriarchal societies, it didn't even matter if women were happy. Nobody thought
Mhm.
about if women were happy, let alone children,
Yeah.
right? So children were to be seen and not heard. They were to be controlled by their parents and obey, and live out this dream that their parents designed for them. And that may have worked a long time ago. But
Not
again, in
today.
today's world, our kids today are too smart. They know better. And nobody, and it's more of a conversation. So, right. So what we hear from teens all the time now, things that I never would have dreamed of saying to my parents. I didn't even know these words, but you're controlling and you're manipulating me and you're just trying
Mm.
to,
Wow.
those, because that's a topic in our society, right? And
Yes.
so we hear about narcissism, we hear about control and coercive control and all of those things. So our kids are hip to all this. So the minute we behave as a parent in a way that sends up their red flags, they really back off. And if they're aligning with somebody else who's counter parenting, it's certainly a recipe for disaster. But even in your same home, even if you have a mom and a dad that are both parenting from separate backgrounds with a different set of ideals, and they haven't come together to put their parenting on the same page, that's a real struggle for children. They're getting two different sets of messages. And their children are guided by the need for love. They want to feel love. So they're mostly going to side with a parent where they feel love, but rejecting one parent also creates fear in them. So they're constantly in that struggle. And whether you have an ideal situation or a less than ideal situation, again, the root of it, the bottom line is that we have got to listen to our children. We've got to
Yep.
invite them into the process of solving problems and taking responsibility. We've got to teach them how to be critical thinkers so that they can solve their own problems out in the world. We're not always going to be there for them. They
That is
have to
true.
be able to take a problem and break it down. In my class, we do that. We take it down and we break a problem down in 6 steps. And you can use that not just with your children, but in all areas of your life. And again, I say, if you didn't learn these things as a child because that's how you were parented, more than likely, none of us have these skills until we take a course like this and we can open up our mind and see parenting through a whole different lens.
Yes, we tend to, like, even with relationships and just anything related to social interactions, and even with learning more about ourselves, we tend to take those for granted. So
Yeah.
we'll go and get our degrees, we'll go and be trained in and get skills and acquire skills in other areas. But when it comes to something as simple as parenting, no one says, okay, yes, before you become a parent, come on now, let's do this parenting class. Let's make sure that you are well equipped. I mean, you do it for everything else, but we don't do it for that. We don't do it for, okay, some people are still struggling with, okay, before I get married, maybe I need to do a premarital course, just to make sure that we are headed in the right direction. And then even when we face problems as it relates to our relationship, some people find it difficult to go and see someone. So it's good that um, we're telling parents, you don't have to do it on your own. You don't have to do it. The information is there. People are there. There's always help available. Someone is always available to help. So don't struggle
Most
with.
importantly, I'm sorry, I just want to, most importantly, I think there's like a little bit of a stigma around parenting classes.
Yes.
To a lot of people, it's like, I don't need a parenting class. I'm a good mom. And you are. And we all love our children and we all want to be the best parents that we can be. And taking a parenting class doesn't mean that you've failed or that you're coming up short or that you haven't done a great job. It just means there are other ways, there are other things that you may not know that your kids need, and I'm here to help you learn those things.
Definitely. So yes, get help. Um, and it's not even just so much the help, it's sometimes we need like that icing on the cake. Like we're doing a great job, but hey, we want to do a little better. We want to strengthen. We want to improve on what we have and not feel as if, oh, I'm living in a state of neglect. I'm living in a state of lack. It doesn't have to be that way. It could be, I am just always learning. I'm always growing and improving. We do it with all other areas of our lives. So why not do it with parenting? Why not do it with your marriage? Why not do it for personal development? Just keep growing and learning. So tell us more about how can parents move from struggle to cooperation with their children, and maybe I don't know, your top advice that you would give parents raising toddlers.
Let's see, raising toddlers. I don't know that my advice is going to be different if we break it
Okay.
down between toddlers and
And
teens.
teens. Okay.
It's always going to be about looking beneath the surface. So, everything we see our kids doing on the surface, whether that's excelling at a sport or um, misplacing any behavior that we see, that's on the top, but underneath that is what's driving those behaviors. So whether you're having a tantrum with a toddler or you have a rebellious teenager, it is so important that we focus on the behavior and get to the root of that and help them to meet those needs to change that behavior. So again, if it's a tantrum with a toddler, there's a reason why they're having a tantrum. They may be fearful. They may be fearful of punishment. They may be fearful that some of their survival needs, if they're hungry, right? So that's a survival need. If a child is hungry and they're fearful that they don't know when they're going to eat, that can result in behavior, a tantrum, right? Out of control because they're not sure of what's going to happen next. So whether it's that and you can address that issue and say, I understand that you're hungry and I know that you're upset right now. Dinner's going to be ready in 30 minutes, right? Instead of, why are you always doing this? I'm trying to get dinner right now. Go play in your room for 15 minutes. We've totally dismissed the problem. We've totally passed the child off. And inside, what that child internalizes is my concerns, my needs, my fears aren't valid.
Yeah,
Right?
it doesn't
And
matter.
it's simple. And that isn't what we mean. That's
No.
not what we're saying. We're not
No,
saying go
but
away. I
that's what
don't
the child got from what we said. And so many times we do not take that into consideration. So we're here at Unique Couples Sunday Night Live with Jennifer Mullins, and we are talking about help parenting toddlers and teens. Go ahead, if you have any comments, go ahead and put that um, in the comments below and let us know your takeaways. What is standing out for you? If you have any questions, go ahead and put it. We would love. If we don't get to it today, we will definitely answer in the comments or respond back to you in the comments. So go ahead and put that in. And before I forget, I want to let you know about our How I Love tracker. So if you have not gotten a chance to get that, be sure to request our How I Love tracker. The link should be in the description. We are talking about not just loving yourself or your spouse. Okay. We also need to make sure that we are loving our children the way that they need to be loved. Okay. And then for those of you who are couples, you know, you're usually joining us on Unique Couple Sunday Night Live for some couple conversation. Go ahead. If you're a married couple, go ahead and join us in the How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group. We are there. We have our sip and spill on Monday night. So juicy conversation about all things marriage, all things that couples will definitely need to sometimes maybe take a little moment to kind of, you know, express themselves. So go ahead and join us for that. That's Mondays at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time in the How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group. And be sure to register to receive our free How I Love tracker. Okay, so register to join that. And we have our 5-day challenge going on. It's the 5-day challenge. It's how to strengthen your marriage and have the marriage of your dreams, even if your spouse doesn't want to challenge. So be sure to join us for that challenge. You can, once you join the Facebook group, also you can sign up to join that challenge, or you can just go ahead and click the link in the description and be a part of our challenge. I think we have one more announcement, so stay around, stay tuned until the end. We have our Think Like a Mistress. Yes, Think Like a Mistress. Women, it's all about us. And we are, yeah, wives, it's all about us, right? Think Like a Mistress masterclass. And we actually have that is happening tomorrow, May 2nd. Yeah, so that's happening tomorrow. So maybe you get in, you're like really, really late. So if you get in, go ahead. The link is in the description. Go ahead and register. You can possibly catch the replay if you do not catch us live for the Think Like a Mistress masterclass happening on May 2nd. So go ahead and register to join. So we need to make sure that our relationship with our spouse is intact. We need to make sure that we're loving each other. We also need to make sure that we are loving and showing our kids that we love them. So Jennifer, you were talking about, some of the things that we say to our kids and they're interpreting that differently. So go ahead and continue letting us know about the advice that you would give to toddlers and to teens.
Yeah, I want to, going back to the things that we say, I want to bring up a point about labels. Yeah. And that is that labels for children can be extremely damaging. And they become often self-fulfilling prophecies. And again, I bring this up because we don't always do it with a bad intention. A lot of times they're just the words we use, where they're cliches maybe that came from our childhood and we don't understand. But when you put labels on children, they internalize that and then they act them out. So if you always refer to little Sarah as, oh, she's the shy girl, Sarah's going to be the shy girl.
When Sarah was not actually a shy girl, she might have experienced something that made her a little reserved, but she's not actually shy.
That's correct. And then if Lisa's always the class clown and Lisa's always funny, Lisa's going to live up to that label and she's going to always be cracking jokes. And it's the same thing when you put a negative label on somebody. If you constantly are on your teen about a messy room or not picking up after themselves and you call them lazy, you tell them you're just lazy. That may not seem harsh to us, but it is a label, and it is something that over time, when it is repeated over and over and over again, children do become the things that we tell them they are. So it is so important that we're impeccable with our words when we talk to our children and be very mindful. If we are going to use labels, be present in the moment and use positive labels, because there are positive labels even in negative situations. Okay. So staying present, staying in the moment with your child, and really choosing your words carefully when you are labeling them or defining who they are as people, because they will take those labels on.
Yeah, they do take them on. Like you said, they take them to heart. And sometimes they're not even aware that they're living these prophecies, the things that we speak into their life, that we speak onto them. We've heard stuff like, "Oh, you're black like your daddy. You're silly like this one, or you're stupid," or all of these different things. So you were mild, saying your points, but we have parents who really say horrible things to their children, and to them it seems as if it really
they're just telling the truth,
because it's like they got so used to, that's what they know, that's what they grew up with, that's their background, that's how their parents spoke to them, and now they're just returning the favor almost and don't see the damage it is causing on their children. So we want to say, choose your words wisely. What you're speaking into your children is what is going to happen. And we always say, focus on what you want to get. Like if you see your child doing something great, focus on that, as opposed to focusing on all the list of bad things or negative that you see your child doing. So that is definitely something we need to. So go ahead, put those comments in the chat, some of those labels. parents would actually give to their children or say to their children, and we want to turn that around, right? We want to speak
Absolutely.
those positive things. We want to have those positive things that we say to our kids, that we tell them, even in negative situations.
That's right. So, one of the best parenting strategies that I teach in my class is just what you just said, and that's catch them being good. It is one of the easiest ways to build children's self esteem and help them in their zone of genius and help them cultivate their passions inside them. And that's simply just catch them being good instead of catching them being bad. So,
Good.
in a moment, that could mean, I love how you put your dish in the sink after you used it, right? I
Yes.
mean, so simple, but they love that. Even if they don't know they love that, that positive affirmation, that positivity onto them will help them in the future to realize putting this dish in the sink without being asked makes other people happy. It's me being responsible. It's me doing my part, and it becomes second nature to them. It's so much easier to get them to cooperate when you bring them into the process instead of commanding and demanding and forcing them to put their plate in the sink after dinner.
So it's even more of them wanting to do it because they found pleasure in actually doing it, as opposed to, oh, I need to do this because my mom is going to get on me or my dad is going to get on me. It's more of, oh, I did this and that brought, positive results. I got the compliments, I got praise, and I like that. And so, oh, I think I'm going to do that again. And that's how we feel. And that's what we even need to do with our spouses, right? With anybody.
That's right.
We get whatever is praise, that is what we get more of. And we need to actually use those principles with our children. Loving this. Go ahead and let us know your takeaways. Put those in the chat. We love hearing from you, love hearing what you say. Go ahead and put those in the chat for us and leave your comments if you have any questions. So we did the advice. So we have, I think this one is also, I think you addressed this one about demanding toddlers or the terrible twos or the actual behavior we see. So when we see those behavior, we have to actually look below the surface. It's not just the behavior, right? It's
That's right.
not just the behavior.
And
So,
inviting
Jennifer,
them, I think in those moments too, to take it a little step further, even with toddlers, it's meeting them where they are with their feelings and their needs and inviting them to help participate in the solution. So if you're hungry and you're feeling aggravated, I understand that dinner's in 30 minutes. Would you like to help me by setting the table? We can get it done faster together. So you invite them in and you reduce the struggle, you reduce the frustration, and everybody's working together to attain the same goal.
definitely, that definitely would work. So, any final advice or final words for our parents watching? Yes, men, this is for you too, men parents. Even though we are in and talking to ladies and the ladies are on, we know that men do parent and are parents as well. So, any final thoughts as we wrap up? Go ahead and let us know, Jennifer.
I would just encourage all of your viewers to take a deep introspective look into their own childhood and see where they're pulling from their past experiences and using them today, and then evaluate, are those working? Are they working for you? Does that feel good to you? Do you feel like you're parenting from a place of love and respect when you're using those old techniques? Or are you ready to adopt some new techniques and some new age parenting styles that really do consider and focus more on the child's needs and the child's need for a fully
Mhm.
self-actualized life?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So go ahead and do that. So Jennifer, tell our viewers, I know I heard you talk about your course. Let us know about the breakthrough parenting that you do, your breakthrough in parenting instructor. Let us know a little about that, and then let our viewer and the audience know how they can reach you if they want to go ahead and do this course and to actually become super, better, effective parents, right? We're all about learning and growing. So we should do it with our relationship with our children as well.
Absolutely. So the parenting class is a 10-week hybrid course. The hybrid means that it's partially self-guided. Every week I release a pre-recorded video lesson for the topic that we're on for that week. Students will watch that video lesson during the week and do the exercises in their workbook, and they'll perform that independently. Then they participate in a group. On Facebook, we have a private Facebook group where I post, scenarios and engagement type posts to help parents take the lesson that we've been studying this week and put it into a practical sense and show them how it plays out in their real life, what it might look like or sound like when they're using these techniques. And then we wrap up the week every Saturday at 11 o'clock on a Zoom meeting. We have a live Zoom discussion where we go over our workbooks and make sure that everybody has gotten everything they needed to get out of the lesson. We do a lot of collaboration, feedback, just reflection, support, encouragement, and the collaboration, the collective mind, the power that we all have when we get together and discuss it's amazing. There is nothing like it. And I get parents all the time that want to take the class, and they love that it's hybrid, but they can't make it to the Saturday sessions. And unfortunately, our Saturday sessions, that personal one-on-one, the collaboration that we do live is such an integral part of the course. I hate for anybody to miss that part, because that's like the meat and bones. That's where the magic happens. That's where, you've listened to me all week and you've done some independent study, but it's not until we all get together where the light bulbs start going off. And each week I have parents come back saying, I did what you told me. I said what you said, I'm using the lines and things are going better. So it's really, really powerful. And it's a whole transformation. It happens. We take it little bits and steps. But over the 10 weeks, it is a true transformation for parents, again, because a lot of us don't already have these skills because they weren't taught to us. And so it's a transformation for us, because once we have the skills to use with our children, it makes us better at life in every relationship.
Definitely, definitely. So how can they reach out if they want to go ahead and register or sign up for this course? Let us know. Website, email.
Yes.
How can they reach you?
My website is www.parentinterrupted.com. I can also be reached via email. My email address is jen@parentinterrupted.com. That's Jen with 2 N's. And I'm all over Facebook. You can send me a message on Facebook. I'm Jennifer Solomon Mullins on Facebook. And I have a Facebook page as well. There's Parent Interrupted has its own Facebook page. So those would be the best ways to connect with me about the class.
Awesome. So there you have it. www.parentinterrupted.com. You can reach out to Jen, and you can email her at jen@parentinterrupted.com, and find her on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes. So let's see, put that website up again. Okay. And the email. Okay, thank you so much for sharing this evening, Jen, on, that help. Like, even I love the fact that you said some of the best advice you would give, and top advice would be as it relates to the toddler or the teen, and all the in-betweens for us who, those of us who have the in-betweens as well, is the fact that, hey, it's like almost the same, like how we relate to and actually finding out what is happening with the child. And that really matters. The focus is on the child. Look at the behavior, but look underneath the surface at what is happening with the child, and relate to that, and see if you can meet the child's need, meet your child's need. And homework for parents, look at how you were raised, what was happening with you, and see how you are bringing that into your relationship with your children. So continue working on yourself. We talk about in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, we talk about those drips of love, right? Those drips of love, the things that we do on a daily basis to that we should be doing on a daily basis to actually show that we are loving our spouse. So we need to kind of like do that with our kids as well. So all this month, ladies, we want to see you out. Let another lady know. Go ahead and join us, Unique Couples Marriage Club. Go ahead, get the motivation, inspiration, and transformation you need. Join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. And don't forget us at Sip and Spill on Monday nights in the How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group. Join us for that. And of course, After Dark, we have After Dark on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us for that as we have our conversation. And don't forget our treasure hunt. Our treasure hunt, that's for couples, something else that you can do to definitely work on your relationship. And our we also have our Think Like a Mistress masterclass starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you have not registered for that as yet, be sure to register and be a part of the Think Like a Mistress masterclass. And find Jen, and go ahead and do that course so that you can become a more effective parent, and we could raise, children who are self-actualized, children who believe that they could conquer the world and who actually do, because not only do we believe it and we're treating them and training them like the people that they want to become, we don't, yeah, it's actually going to happen for them. So go ahead and do that. Thank you so much again, Jen. We just want to
Oh, my
say,
pleasure.
yes, at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. Stay tuned, stay connected, and definitely, if you have not been a part of our community, we want you to stay a part and definitely stay loving your spouse. We want to thank our sponsors for making this show possible. Go ahead and connect with Hair to Please, Style Me Pretty. Shout out to Nail the Creation Lab by Anna. Go ahead and check out Choices, Signature Choices, to get all of the things that you need to spice up your relationship. And um, check out Donna at Bahamas Realty as well. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you um, on tomorrow, ladies, right? We'll see you, ladies, for our Think Like a Mistress marathon. Husbands, make sure your wives sign up. You will not forget it. Thanks again, Jennifer.
Oh, you're so
Goodbye.
welcome.